There was certainly no surprise because it had been forecast. It was a mixture of disappointment and anger. I thought about people that literally died, Goodman, Chaney, Schwerner, Jimmy Lee Jackson, to get us the right to vote, and how far we'd come from the mid-60s to where we could elect a black president, elect a black woman vice president, and here we are, we can't even get a voting protection bill. That was a mixture of anger because of the blood that was shed and disappointment because I felt that the country had gone further than that. Has Donald Trump poisoned this party so to where voting rights now means nothing to them? So it is an outrage at best, insulting in fact, and it should energize a real movement to keep us forward on this issue. The only reason that one could logically think that they'd be against it is that they've made up their mind the only way they can win is to impede people having the right to vote. And that if they can narrow the voting base, that they can win by what is narrowed, because clearly a lot of these state laws are disproportionately impacting black voters and voters of color. And the president needs to meet with civil rights leadership, as he has earlier this year, last year, and this year, on voting rights, on what can be done by executive order, and what the Justice Department can do in challenging some of these state laws. 19 states have enacted 33 new pieces of state law. What can be done there? We need to talk about, from the civil rights community, how we energize people to not become, in many ways, disaffected, but how it should be an energizer to say, that's why we need to vote, despite some of the impediments, and do what we can to bring in a Senate that would not render us with no protection in our voting rights. I think that for Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema to vote against the sitting president of their party and to say that they supported the bills but will not support the mechanism of a rule change to make sure the bills can be passed is talking out of both sides of your mouth. How do you say, I am for the John Lewis bill, I am for the Freedom to Vote bill, which was Manchin's bill, but I'm not for the rules change? So it's like saying, I am for dinner, but I'm not for you using the stove to cook it. Then how are you gonna get the dinner? I hope by next MLK Day we will say that we lost the battle, but we won the war. We lost a battle last night, but the war is not over. And they ought not celebrate that they have been able to stop voting rights. They just won one round. There's more rounds to go in this fight.